Hi, my name is Mark Stipic. I'm the WorkCover guy. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today I'm answering the question, what are the WorkCover Weekly Payment Step-Downs? Now, we've established previously that whenever a claim is lodged and accepted, there needs to be a PRWE calculation, which determines what was the employee's pre-injury average weekly earnings. The PRWE includes normal time earnings as well as shift allowance and overtime and sometimes a few other things. The PRWE is basically the 100% amount, the starting position for an injured worker. Okay, that's the figure that's used to calculate these step downs. At no point in the life of a claim will an employee ever be entitled to receive 100% as the compensation amount. You know, if they're working their full hours, then okay, they'll be earning 100%. But as far as compensation goes, no, you can't be paid 100%. And the only other exception is if your workplace has some sort of workplace agreement that has make-up pay. So check that if you've got an agreement, is there a requirement to pay make-up pay? Because that may require an employer to be out of pocket for the difference between these rates, up to 100%, but only for a limited period of time usually. So PRWE is your 100% rate. For anyone who's off work, the dates I'm going to take you through are what we call paid payable weeks. They're not calendar weeks. This is the number of weeks where compensation has been paid. For weeks 0 to 13, the person's entitled to 95% of their PRWE, with everything that was in the PRWE included. From weeks 14 to 52, that rate changes to 80%. But still, everything's included in there, the shift allowance and the overtime. From week 53 to 130, it remains at 80%, but the shift allowance and overtime is taken out at that point. So you get 80% of basically your normal time earnings only. Now, if you're a full-time salary employee who never did overtime, you won't see any change at week 52. But if you're an employee, such as we see a lot of in manufacturing and aged care, who shift allowance and overtime is a regular thing, there could be a significant change here. I see many employees who 30%, 40% of their income comes from shift allowance and overtime. So there's an argument, also that person might see a significant drop at week 53. And I put 130 weeks on here as well. There isn't a change in the rate there, okay? It still remains at 80% of your normal time earnings at that point in time. But most claims are terminated at 130 weeks. So it is another key milestone for any claim. There are a handful that continue on but beyond 130 weeks, but they are the rarity. It's generally only the quite serious injuries. So they're the key dates, but you might be wondering what's this little thing here in the F here. That's because during this is called the first entitlement period, the 95%. If a person's back at work on partial hours, it's a pretty straightforward calculation. You just got to top them up to 95%. Pay them the wages. If it's less than 95%, then top them up to 90, just top them up. Here from weeks 14 onwards, this is called the second entitlement period. If a person's off work, it's just a straight payment of 80%. But if they're back at work working reduced hours, there is a formula that comes into play, and it's not just a straightforward top up. So if you weren't aware of that already, separately I'm going to create an article and perhaps a video to take you through how that formula works, because it's a little bit complex. But do be aware that it's not just a straightforward top up once a person's gone over 13 weeks. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thanks very much for tuning in. My name is Mark Stipic. I'm the WorkCover guy. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you've got a question for me, I'd be happy to answer it for you. Just use the hashtag #TheWorkCoverGuy. Also, please check out my website, markstipic.com.au.